This stretch of Anne-Kathrine's tour of the Greenbelt takes her along the former inner German border between Thüringen and Bavaria. Today she's trading her East German scooter for a West German four-wheeler with 100 horsepower. Unimog is a shortened name for this all-terrain vehicle.
So Unimog is basically like a huge German Jeep, and it can take quite some rough roads. So I've decided to take this Unimog for these convoy roads along the eastern side of the former border.
These convoy routes were part of the former communist East Germany's border strip. West German-born Marcel Müller has been guiding tourists along them for a year now via Unimog. It's no racing car. The Unimog can only reach speeds of about 80 kilometers an hour, but it's equipped to haul 3 tons of cargo. Conservationists have agreed to a specific route for the Unimog, which isn't the most eco-friendly vehicle. Müller masters the climb along the former border with ease.
The convoy route isn't great to travel on foot because of the perforated surface. It's easy to end up in a hole, and it's not pleasant to drive here on a bike or a scooter either. So we looked for another way to show people the former border, something that shaped this region for 40 years, and that's how we got the idea to negotiate the route in this way.
From the convoy route, our reporter continues on to a nearby meadow, where 2 men are waiting to tell a very special story. In a daring move 25 years ago, Ottmar Adler and Ludwig Simon, both West Germans, risked their freedom as a favor to a friend. In a powered glider, they took off from Bavaria in West Germany and flew north. It was strictly forbidden to come within 5 kilometers of the border's airspace, but the 2 men shut off the engine at a height of 1,200 meters and glided silently toward the divide. They followed the border's path above the heads of unknowing East German guards. Their aim? To take a photograph of the East German border town of Tischendorf. The pair later gave the snapshots to friends who had fled East Germany as a way to remember their old homeland. But they kept the picture's origins a secret.
So what did your friends actually say when you came home with the pictures?
Neither our friends nor our family knew about it at the time. We had to keep everything a secret for various reasons. Ludwig Simon could have lost his pilot's license. And if I'd wanted to visit East Germany, they would have let me in. But they wouldn't have let me out again, because the secret police would have arrested me.
An unforgettable story from a divided Germany. Anne-Kathrine continues on to a border museum with a very special exhibit in Naila, Bavaria. The panels of fabric that made up the balloon that Günther and Petra Wetzel used to flee East Germany in 1979 stretched 27 meters long. The couple fled with their children and another family. 2 by 2 meters, there was space for 8 people inside. Günther Wetzel sewed the balloon himself. When they landed at night, none of the group could be sure whether they'd reached their goal, but the wind had carried them into West Germany. The story of their escape was filmed in 1981.
What did you feel when you started in the middle of the night? Were you afraid?
Not at the time, but if I had known what could have happened, I never would have got on board.
I don't think anyone was scared during the journey. We were well prepared. And then we started with the inflating and heating, and we were all very calm and focused. We were so preoccupied that no one stopped to think that something could go wrong.
Günther Wetzel got his pilot's license a year after his successful escape. Now he also works as a flight instructor.
For West Germans, it was very complicated to cross the inner German border on the ground, and for East Germans, it was nearly impossible. In the air, however, a few courageous people found a loophole, either to make photos of the old home in the east or to find a new home in the west.
Anne-Kathrine still has 100 kilometers to go on her trip through the now borderless Germany. She's almost reached the end of the Greenbelt.